Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jared Thomas, and this is the first official podcast interview session, official podcast. My previous sessions were more just album breakdowns, song breakdowns, and discussion breakdowns, but this is the official launch of the podcast, and it's a pleasure. Yes. And it's an honor and a pleasure to have this genius, creative, artistic musician, songwriter,
Yes, sir.
Poet, as my first interview. Let's give it up for Hasani Vibez. I want to, in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I want to kind of start there.
Most definitely.
And I want to know, like, what are some of your hip hop influences? Who influenced you, old and new?
Okay.
Let me know that.
Gotcha. What's going on, y'all? Y'all know how we get down. You are now catching some Hasani Vibez, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I had to get that one out.
Absolutely.
Because one of my hip hop influences, especially being the 50th year, my biggest one is actually Biggie.
New York.
Besides Drake, Biggie is a flow god. And I'm one to just always been attracted to flow. But then as far as Tupac, his message is behind it. So what I strive to do, even within my hip hop, is have that Biggie flow. I'm like, imagine a Biggie flow with a Tupac message. You know?
It's so funny that you named those two because they were so both very influential. One, like you said, lyrical, like had that Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis,
Yeah.
you know, and Pac was, you know, his parents were Black Panthers, so he had that conscious undertone and always had that message in his music. So it's just, those were great examples because while they were both polar opposite, they both had major impact in hip hop.
Literally. And of course the greats like Wayne, Jay. I literally study all of the greats, like especially as far as artistry. Nowadays, I study people now, but like especially far back because that's the real stuff. Real music lasts, and we know the real music that lasts. So I listen to Jay-Z and his wordplay. Wayne is ridiculous. Like Wayne is crazy.
Who's your GOAT? Like out of Wayne and Jay?
I ran into that one.
Who's your top five? Your top five?
Top five? I think everybody I just named actually is in that top five. I'm not going to put them in the order. I refuse.
in no particular order.
But that order we could go. I mean, no order. Top five: Biggie, Jay-Z, Wayne. Drake is actually in my top five. I love Drake. But it might be biased, but Drake has constantly proven over time what he can do.
I agree. I think Drake is versatile, and I see him as a pop star. He's a rapper, but I feel like he is going to push the envelope. He just had a dance album.
True.
So he's going to kind of go out the lines and kind of take risks that most hip-hop artists aren't going to do.
That's
so
true.
I think he's just versatile, and I see him as just like kind of like a huge pop star, if you will, who does rap music sometimes.
Yeah, and I do. That is how I see Drake. So I think that's why I give Drake so much credit because of his versatility and his reasoning of pushing rap to different boundaries and different levels. That's kind of what I do in my music. So that's why I love and study Drake as well. Yeah.
While we're on hip hop, you know, the whole Gunna and Young Thug situation. How do you feel about like the message of kind of like street culture and how it's kind of just forced upon, I guess, our young generation, and don't rat and tell and all that narrative, what have you. How do you feel about that? And do you have an opinion about the whole situation with Young Thug and Gunna?
Okay. So being from the East Side, I did literally watch Young Thug's rise and Gunna's rise to fame, and I love everything that they do. But since I was 6 years old, I've always been conscious of having this certain platform, but then portraying a certain message. I'm a big superhero guy, so it's just like with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
And I feel to have those platforms that they have, why not push the boundaries of positive stuff? Like, I feel it's a true responsibility now. Even now, I walk like that. That's why I love MJ so much, Michael Jackson, because it's just like, when you have that certain platform and certain power, that's what it is, a power and an influence on other people that can literally do what you say in a minute. You cannot, I don't like to abuse that certain type of thing. So I do understand why the DA is cracking down on that in Georgia. I personally have always understood, like I said, the power, like music is powerful and spiritual. If you don't push that. I try my best not to push any negativity. I put God in a lot of everything and love and everything that I do.
Absolutely. But how do you feel like, because people in the culture are like, no, I ain't messing with him. I'm not supporting him. And that's kind of sends messages to our young people. It
does.
To be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to rap. They're going to kind of just follow in those same footsteps. I did a segment about that. And what I found was everybody are liars, because Gunna album is doing well.
Gunna album is, I'm going to be honest.
And it was really good. It's great.
It's amazing.
I said that, and people can't, people have been coming for me online about my post for the past few weeks, but Gunna melodically dope.
Yeah, exactly.
And the album was really good. And I stumbled on Billboard Top 200 last week, and Gunna was beating Young Thug,
still up there,
Dirt,
by himself.
But on all these people who are saying, I ain't supporting you, he's leading the pack. So
he's still up there by himself, though.
But that is true, and I feel like people are hypocrites because I think they're trying to play tough for the gram or for social media, but low key you're really supporting Gunna. So why be fake with it and just be stand on your two toes and say what it is. If I'm gonna support him. If not, not.
Exactly.
So because numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I still support him fully. I have no quarrel, beef with none of them. I support him. I listen to both of the albums. I actually personally love Gunna's album a lot more. Truly, honestly. I felt like you felt Thug's missing. You can tell he wasn't here. Yeah, I think it would have been way better if he was able to. I feel like he rushed that. The marketing team actually kind of rushed that album as well. They probably put some stuff together. I could tell too. Gunna took time.
You could tell.
He put everything he wanted to
was
say.
Back to cut. And
he didn't make a social media post.
Absolutely.
He put all of that in the album. That's what you're supposed to do as an artist.
Oh, so let's see. So I know you are multi-layered creative again, songwriter, poet, musician. You play the saxophone. You're an artist. You paint. You have an art gallery. But I want to take it to like Hasani Vibez prior to that. Like how did you know you had something special? Like when did you find your creative? When did you tap into it? At what point?
Okay, so in short, it's crazy. Like since birth, but I used to sing in the choir when I was little. 6 years old, I was the kid that drew on the desk. I was the kid that was beating on it. It's videos. I promise people gonna pull up videos of me beating on the desk in class, just making things. That's always been in me. However, I've during high school, I hid that trying to chase a dream that was pushed around, my whole area. Just NFL, get in, get out, get your money. And I was just, when I was money focused and just like, I kind of made someone else's dream, I guess, and my dream in a way.
So in high school, were you, even though you were subconsciously beating the drum and being creative without knowing it, were you actively seeking it during that time? Or were you, because I believe you are an athlete as well. You was captain of the football team in high school. So was your focus at that time just football?
So actually, I was playing football and soccer.
Okay.
And captain of both teams. But senior year of high school, that was my main focus until senior year of high school.
Okay.
I had a girlfriend at the time, and I got hurt. Actually, I tore my ACL, LCL, my MCL. Got all the scars to remind me every time. Literally.
Wow.
So
this is senior year.
Senior year. I'm talking, I had offers rolling in. People, a lot more people knew my name from the sports. I'm like, wow, this is feeling great. Like all the work that I put in, I'm number one everything, like in all the categories.
Wow.
And it was raining one time on the play, very dramatic. It was like my life is a movie. It's been a movie. So it's like, it's not raining the whole time of the game. It starts raining during the game. I go in for the tackle. Coach literally said, Hasani, you coming out next play. You damn great. We go in head on head collision. I don't get up. All I hear is my mom screaming, the rain. So I'm stuck up like this.
It's a movie.
Yeah, all my muscles they tore and got caught up right here. So since then, I was just like, wow, like that was a wake up call for me. And that actually got my relationship with God to really understand. I sat down and was like, what am I here to do? You know? But then I didn't remember all the stuff that I was subconsciously doing. Like I told you, being on the desk, drawing on the desk, drawing on my schoolwork, on my papers when I was bored. If I'm always attracted, he'll give it to you in your heart.
Absolutely.
And that was always what my heart desired, just art. I was just in love with art, and I always wanted to be art. Anywhere art was, I'm drawn to it. I hear somebody on the piano. So my girlfriend left me at the time. I'm rolling in a wheelchair. It was tough. Right?
I can only imagine your senior year. You had college prospects seeking you out. You injure yourself.
Injure myself, and it was very depressing, actually.
I can imagine. I was gonna say, how was your mental? Yeah, I can imagine.
Mentally, that's why the only thing I knew was to turn back and run back to God, and I'm grateful for my parents for that.
Absolutely.
And man, I went into a dark place. I never actually want to go back to that.
No, absolutely.
It was very super dark, but I found music in that. And actually, all of the stuff that you're hearing now was created back then. So I got to lay on the bed for 3 to 5 months.
Wow.
Just write music, create beats. So I did that, and I was doing that, constant rotation, reading my Bible, mom, dad praying for me, church praying for me, and even though I was in that depression, I dropped a song for the girl that left me when I was in a wheelchair. Because I was just a movie. You know, like a movie.
Lifetime.
Lifetime. So I dropped the song, and the school went crazy. Because the school saw me go from, I guess you could say, big man on campus,
athlete,
to in the wheelchair rolling around.
Yeah.
And now all the attention was on me. And they're like, oh, Hasani dropped this song. He's singing. So I'm singing over a party next door.
Prior to this, did people know that you could sing?
Yeah, not at all. Well, I was in a boy band group called Dream before, and that was just to play, you know, in school for a talent show. But then I got discouraged when there was jokes about it. But I learned it was the dudes I was making jokes. The girls actually.
Right, because you was getting the girls' attention.
So then I'm just like, I've always big on Jacquees. I love Jacquees, and just listening to him. And I was just like, let me just get on this Party Next Door beat. I got on the beat, and I said this one line that the kids remembered forever. I go like, it's Hasani. And these vibes that you catching gon' get you wet like the sunny.
All right.
Slipping, dripping tsunami. And if you ride the wave, don't play these games like Jumanji. Man.
Go off there.
And
subtle flex.
I just wanted to give it
absolutely.
example.
No, it sounds great.
And it was prom. I went up in a wheelchair. That taught me so much determination.
Absolutely.
It's like, Hasani, are you gonna perform? Are you gonna perform? And I never thought to perform anything. I went up in a wheelchair. I was on my crutches. I got up, talked to the DJ, slid him the song, got permission from the administration. It was a clean song, and they was just like, play. Whole school sung it with me. And from then on, I was like, this is it. Like, they're singing it with me. Flashlights out.
The power of music.
Beautiful.
Wow.
You know, and that gave me a sense of hope and true direction and purpose of who I am now. And I saw everything of where it is now before anyone else could. And I'm just grateful for that vision. So.
Awesome. So let's fast forward. First and foremost, congratulations are in order. You just graduated from Morehouse College. Yeah. Congratulations.
The host.
Congratulations. What was your major?
Communications.
Okay. And did you do communications to stay somewhat connected to the creative?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And so, okay, since you graduated, like what do you see yourself going? What's next?
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
So you got this degree.
Woo. Woo. Hey, I'm going to be totally honest with you. After post-grad life, you go through a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like what? Like I told you, I'm still focused and purpose-driven. And, but I'm, like you said, like, I have friends that just doing amazing. And shout out to them. I'm always going to be a cheerleader. And then, you know, you get these things. I'm going to say this here, like, I don't think I've told him. I got denied from Spike Lee. A lot of major corporations that I thought was, I'm like, this is it. But I'm doing art now. What's next is truly falling into my purpose, being a true expression of art and love, and letting God continue to guide my steps. I learned that, and I got comfortable with telling people that.
Let's dive into your experience, the AUC experience,
Oh, man.
because that's an experience for people who don't know. From OG AUC, Atlanta, OG, and times changed. When I tell you, the promenade is not the same, by the way.
I'm already knowing. I know.
Oh, the promenade was not the same.
Man.
Like when I came there to get content from you guys, I was like, where everybody at?
Literally, it don't matter what
like
time of day.
It was just, yeah.
I know.
But,
I'm kind of jealous you got to experience, because you got to experience that with Morris Brown.
Yeah, when they were still,
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a different time.
I know. Oh, shout out to the AUC. That's
shout
amazing.
Out to the AUC.
Amazing place.
But it's an experience for people, my non-people, Atlanta people. The AUC is Spelman, Clark, Morehouse, Spelman. And it's just culturally it's undescribable.
Totally. I don't even know how to, what an experience.
Yeah. And my thing is, you were doing music. So how was that? Like, focusing on school.
Yeah.
Recording music, illustrating art, drawing art for high-profile artists. Like, how did you maintain that? How did you juggle all of that?
Big word, discipline. I knew I went to JUCO college before I actually got to the AUC.
Okay.
And that taught me a lot. I learned how to not count my days and make every day count.
And excuse my ignorance, but what's you like a junior?
Oh yeah, junior
college. Oh, okay. I thought it was like I was like, okay. I thought it was some meditation. Like,
I was in there meditating. I was though. I had to.
Yeah.
The college I went to before the AUC was it felt like an artist development. You know what I'm saying? So at first, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Only 300 to 400 people went to my college in the last college I went to, because it's a junior college. It sends you and prepares you for
your
4
first
years.
two get all your
And that happened because of this. All of the schools dropped out on me, and I had two options: Bruton Parker and Andrew College. And the coach came down to my house. Shout out to Coach Taylor. Came down to my house and offered me the ride. So I was just like, he still believed in me.
Wow. And
at first I hated it. I'm be honest, I'm in the middle of the country, nowhere. The 229 Cuthbert, Georgia, nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I had to sit down and realize, I'm like, okay, what do I love? What do I want to do here? Like I told you. And there I was a triple arts major. I majored in musical arts, visual arts, and theater performance. So I was like, let me cultivate my skills.
Absolutely.
Before, I didn't even know Morehouse was next. That's what's crazy. I felt something was next. But it was just like, let me cultivate my skills. I literally saw them as my masters. Like, each teacher we developed it got me the personal development relationship. They wanted me to grow. Because nobody down there wanted to, it was either focus or literally mess around. So I chose to focus, and that decision like got my life to where we are now.
Just spearheaded you.
Yeah,
because it's just for real, and I'm not tooting your horn or whatever, but just the ambition in you. Like after I met you doing the interview back in February, and I just kind of start seeing your journey, and I was like, he's serious.
And I appreciate you.
You know, and And I just kind of remember me in college, and I was like, what was I doing wrong? What was I doing with my life? But no, I just think it's dope that, you know, you're balancing recording music, you're being a artist and a painter, you're balancing, you have an art gallery now. Let's talk about that. Super dope. Some of your art, abstract, super dope. What's inspired you to start painting and drawing?
So actually, it was crazy. Like we know, like we just said, AUC is just amazing. Actually, I learned a technique and skill from my art teacher at Andrew called PENTING.
PENTING. I thought that was a word that you made up. Well, I saw it on.
It is a word that I kind of made up because he would call it empty the pen. So I made up PENTING and created it.
I think that was dope. I was like, okay, I was like PENTING.
Yeah. So that's it was straight pen things, and like I told you, I used to draw on the desk, I draw on the papers, but the AUC really inspired me with that because I had to think, how can I truly be myself, but also stick out? Like, you know, you stick out by truly being yourself. But I was just like, what's something that nobody's doing, and what's something that people can't deny no matter what? And I learned that I'm a giver. Like somebody told me, like, you don't charge these people for your art that you're giving them. Like, you just, hey, I have something for you. I did this because of the greatness that you portray. I just wanted to do this for you, and I do this and do a time lapse of how fast.
What's your sign? You water sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm Sag.
Hey.
We are givers, and we're naturally creative too. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like I think with I don't know, I think it's the left brain. I think I like a white room just like this because I think, how can I get out this room as creatively as possible? So I was just like, what's something they're going to remember me for? You know, and I learned, like, especially with networking in the AUC, you know, it could be as many famous people as you want, and they could promise you right there in your face.
And then disappear.
Yeah, literally. So I was just like, let me do something that, okay, you'll remember, and you could take home to your kids. That's why, shout out to Nick Cannon, man. He really showed out with his painting. That's something that it's just like you can set a memory. I learned how powerful just a memory, just can you remember me?
What year did you start painting?
Was that 2021 actually? I got back into the art because I really wasn't. I was just musically focused. The end of 2021, I was just like, let's see if we can create or generate something else. And I was just like, I want to do it while I'm in the AUC, so I can set that foundation, and even now created clients, you know? Yeah,
because it's dope, like and that's like, he's being modest, like he's drew paintings for Alicia Keys.
Oh man.
And Bold. G Herbo.
Man, yeah.
Moneybagg Yo, so, and provided it to them, and so, dope.
Thank you so much.
Dope, and I think I like how you have a vision and you just execute. A lot of people in your age realm don't have that discipline and don't have that focus and that ambition to keep going and to kind of say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and let me see it to fruition. So I take off my hats to that.
Man, thank you so much. I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for this man right here, man.
So let's see. I saw that you have different personas musically.
Most definitely.
Is that how you kind of categorize your music? Because I saw like a trap, Hasani. I saw Mr. November.
I love that.
The Sun.
I love that you noticed that though. I'm so like, that's what I got my fan base to really understand, because like I told you, they only knew me for R&B.
Because you don't want to be, as a creative, the one thing you don't want to do is be pigeonholed.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So you're kind of really talking to Kofi. I'm dressed in Kofi Vibes right now.
Kofi Vibes, okay. And that's your latest album too.
Most definitely. So most definitely, I'm super glad that you noticed. I'm trying to think of my personas. This is super exclusive. Like, y'all getting like great stuff right now.
You know, you're dealing with a creative here, so I'm gonna know.
Yeah. So we know Hasani Vibez. That's the main guy.
But yeah, so you strategically made these personas to kind of categorize your music, so people can understand when you're in a certain vibe.
Exactly, in certain albums. That's why I released so many albums, especially this year, to set a foundation for those different Hasani vibes. Trap Sani, Kofi Vibes, just recently. Mr. Thanksgiving, he's coming. The Son of Soul with the R&B and the real Soul Train type vibe. It's HV. HV is like Jay-Z, but H-VEE. So that was with my dance crew, Jiggy Funk Crump, and the hip hop album. Yeah, Lean. Okay. So yeah, just setting all those out. Leaving not even just leaving them there, because it's just like, if you were, I want to be that artist. If you were stranded on the island, you don't have to listen to any other artists.
Your repertoire of a plethora to select from.
You know, so you want some hip hop, trap, gospel. I personally got it all, and a lot more coming. So most definitely.
I want to dive into R&B. We both know that it's evolved.
Most definitely.
And the state of R&B now is not what it was in the 90s, clearly. What's R&B to you in today's era? Who represents R&B? For your generation.
That was a great question. Women or men, doesn't matter.
Either or, yes. Okay. So who when you say, okay, this is for my generation, this represents R&B.
You know who cutting up right now? Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, absolutely.
Always gonna cut up.
Always.
But I love the emergence of queens in R&B. Summer Walker, of course. I love Coco Jones' rise.
Yes.
I love her.
It was overdue.
Man.
And I'm happy to see her shine.
So happy.
Because she's
had
a journey.
Shout out to you, Coco, because I love seeing it. I've never been so proud to see somebody's success ever. Like, I'm super amazing. We watched you since.
And she was patient, because she had to wait her turn. But it's definitely her time.
Most definitely. Yeah. And even the men, I love Usher is a big influence for me as well. Even just being the color that I am and still being in R&B. I feel like, as far as relevancy, what in the world? He has, like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
he's still here. So it's just like, I can't discredit him. I'm trying to, like, a lot more R&B. Who else? Because I'm like,
how do you feel about, because you know a lot of rappers try to take on the label Marvin now. And a lot of the storytelling is not there sometimes. Some of the melodies are more rappy singing now. Yeah. How do you feel about that? And do you think there's a time and a place for that?
That's what I think. That was great. See, you taking things out of my head. I feel like it's a time and place for that.
Yeah.
I love the new separation I still need a separation. Like, I am R&B. I could sing outside the studio. That's a big difference. People can't sing. Like, real R&B, you gonna sing outside the studio.
Okay.
I sung on the streets. I still sing on the streets to this day. I just sung on the streets for a Beyonce concert. But it's just like, people don't, that's what really defines the R&B. Like you said, the storytelling for me. Shout out to Tone Stiff. I don't know if you heard of him.
Dope. Yes.
That's R&B right there.
Yeah, very talented.
And I'm trying to think of some more, like, really upcoming. But Tone Stiff, I've been studying him. Like, he's wrote Chris Brown songs. He's wrote a lot of things coming. I love Jacquees as well.
Jacquees, King of R&B.
Yeah.
Hey, I think he's talented.
Yeah, shout out to Quee. Shout out. And Quee, if you was declaring that, come with it. I just wanted Quee to have, like, albums and stuff to represent what he was saying. I feel like that's where he kind of, if you're gonna say something like that.
Yeah, it was a little premature, but you supposed to talk your ish.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
I totally understand that.
Yeah, so I got it. But I think he's talented.
Yeah, I said, come with it after you say something like that. You gonna come with it, because you believe it. I believe in speaking all that, but you gonna come with it. I'm trying. Who else is R&B?
You mentioned Summer Walker. Did you feel?
Oh man, Summer.
She's gonna. I think her first studio album, because I'm not talking about the last days of summer, her EP, but her first studio album that did very well. Do you feel like, not get another one of those, because you don't ever want to try to duplicate yourself as an artist, but like I feel like that Over It was like no skips.
And
at the time she was with her ex, London on Track, super talented producer. Do you feel like he knew her sound. Do you feel like
Most definitely.
she needs him in order to
They went
make
like
that quality of
like
music?
this. They went
They were,
like this.
and you
As
could
far
tell in the music it was so
yeah,
dope.
It was amazing.
Like I remember during the pandemic, there was nonstop.
Literally,
like
yeah.
over
Press
it
play,
was
and
on.
you didn't even have to be going through a breakup, and you was just
You felt it.
Yeah.
And I'm asking because when she still over it, I liked, but I didn't get that feeling that I got when I heard over it.
Same.
So I just wonder, like, because some people, some artists, like back in the day, Babyface and Tony Braxton was like that. Like people, Tola and Mariah Carey back in the day.
Yeah.
So Clive Davis and Whitney Houston, people knew their sounds. Those producers. So I wonder, was London
that for her?
For her, yeah.
I think so, most definitely. I'm into people's growth. I want somebody to grow. And
I want to flourish.
Yeah, but I really love that. When some people like it's a certain era of some people, even within me, there's certain fans are stuck on. But like that, like you said, Over It for me was amazing.
She came out. I knew her from her EP, but how polished and how
that's how you deliver.
That album was like the album most artists get. Like there's sophomore or third album.
Literally.
Like it had featured like
that was her
top tier.
That was her freshman album.
Yeah, her first studio recorded.
Wow, yeah,
the other one was her EP.
That was amazing.
Yeah, like she had Usher, had Janae Aiko, she had Black, she had
every Party Next Door, or am I tripping?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, she was amazing.
It was production was top tier. London killed it. So I was just like, wow, it was such a just polished, well delivered album. I was like, wow.
But even I'm gonna be honest, even as an artist, so I feel like they had so much of a connection because as an artist, and you don't really have to. I produce all of the stuff that I've been dropping this year. Like when you have that other person they're not worried about like they create that structure for you as well, and you create the song structure as you write. That's just. It doesn't get better than that, truly. Like when you have a producer that knows you. Oh man, it's over with.
So I'm just interested to see like her trajectory. I think she's amazing. She's talented on her own. I don't want to tie her, especially as a Black woman, talented woman, to anyone.
Exactly.
But I'm just interested because I feel like I like that duo.
Yeah.
From a music standpoint, I knew it was toxic in other areas, but musically, I really like them together. So I'm just interested to see what's next from her.
Most definitely.
Let's get into your latest project, the Lost Boy Found. What inspired that?
Actually, a trip to West Africa and Ghana and Senegal.
Dope.
Yeah, shout out to Morehouse.
Wow. They facilitated that?
They sent me and my boys over there to represent actually Morehouse. But I knew I was like I wanted that discipline to create and take sounds from Africa and like. I'm great on Afro beats like that. It just the beat and my voice just.
I've heard that was a recurring theme on the album. I was like, okay, Afrobeat, okay.
And Embrace Yourself.
Embrace Yourself.
They gonna
hate yourself.
So people wanted more of that. I was just like, okay.
And it's uplifting.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to give them an album like that. So we went over there. Was it a week? It was a week. And we went to Ghana and then Senegal. We did a lot, I ain't gonna lie. We learned different things, but I found the similarities and differences between us. But like, especially like us, like ain't nothing changed. It's just a whole different type of dynamic. And feeling that and actually being able to be there and just really feel it was a reconnection, like with family, with roots, with you know what I'm saying. And it was amazing. So I was just like, I have to put out because that's my tree name, Kofi.
Kofi, okay. Okay. I saw Coffee Vibe. Kofi Vibe. I was gonna ask, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kofi. I was born on Friday, so that's my name in Ghana, Kofi.
Dope.
And
okay.
I wanted to create that and let the people know that's just like a sound of Kofi vibes, and that's just the start. Like so many
scratching
more,
the surface. Yeah.
So many more, and that Kofi vibes it opens up avenues for reggae, Afro beats, and so many others. So
awesome. And then at the same time is when you launched the gallery.
Yeah.
So and the art did
That
it
was tough.
that reflected the music.
Exactly.
Dope.
So, thank you for pointing that out. This is the first. I always like to get creative with album promotion. This I wanted to release. This is the first time I released a series of the gala. Like the gala was public, but I haven't released an art like showcase. And this was my first showcase.
Dope.
So within the album, this is a soundtrack to the album showcase.
I thought that was dope. I was
Thank you so
like,
much.
what a rollout. And that's what they used to do back in the 90s. I was like, come on.
You
It's
know,
like you way before your years with a rollout.
And
For real, like I was like, this is a rollout.
Thank you so much. I just want to show people like how much I truly cared.
Yeah.
And out of all my albums, I feel like this is the most personal. Like showing these people, like, you know, I wanted to reconnect with my roots and go back to Ghana, and I did that. And this is what I found. This is who I am. You know, and put a piece of me on that album, and the people like. They're eating it up. They're going crazy. So shout out to y'all.
Awesome.
And thank y'all for embracing.
Definitely
the
go
gala.
and download that and buy that. The Lost Boy Found.
The Lost Boy Found on all platforms. Kofi Vibes, The Lost Boy Found, Spotify, Apple, all that.
You know, tell the people where they can find you on your socials.
You can find me everywhere at Hasani Vibez. I'm gonna say it easier for y'all. HASANIVIBEZ. 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 Hey. So yeah, HASANIVIBEZ.com. On Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, everything. Please just go listen to. Each album has a different face, and you can see if you like trap, R&B, Afro beats. It's there for you. If you like art, go check out the gallery, the gala, you know?
My brother, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.